UFC Fight Night Recap. Jalin Turner
And
versus
boom.
Bobby Green.
Time to get into the co-main event of that UFC Fight Night. Okay, we had Jalin Turner going up against Bobby Green. Let me just start off by saying this. Bobby Green, prior to this fight night, got ran down on by a group of hooligans. It was another fighter, and his whole posse was there. Bobby Green was alone, like a G. He was alone, and he said we could do whatever right now. I guess Bobby Green had an opinion about the fighter prior to this run-in, and it wasn't really bad. I think he just said he's a boring fighter. There's really nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, Khabib Nurmagomedov is a boring fighter. He wrestles a lot. Yeah, he brings action and stuff. I don't think he's completely boring or anything like that. But I got where Bobby was saying. Bobby was trying to say, like, in my opinion, I'm not going to speak for the man, but in my opinion, I thought Bobby was trying to say that the exciting fights is what sells and stuff. You know, he's like a Nate Diaz type of guy, very stand up. He likes to exchange shots and stuff like that, and that's what draws the crowd in. You know, a little bit of wrestling always, and clinching is always going to draw crowds in too, but he was trying to say that stand-up action, non-stop action is what the fans want. In his opinion, he had an opinion about the guy that ran up on him, and I guess he was saying he was boring in that sense. Regardless, the guy ended up rolling up on Bobby Green with a group of friends and talking his stuff. Like, he was talking spicy to Bobby Green, and Bobby Green stood up and said, listen, we could do whatever, and get your boys out of my face. Get your boys out of my face. And we could do whatever. And the guy was still on him in his personal space, and he pushed him off. And the guy went ahead and pushed Bobby back. Now, I bring all that into this recap because I want to say this. At the start of this fight, Jalin Turner versus Bobby Green. Bobby Green, he looked, how can I say, he looked intense. He looked intense. He was mouthing off to Jalin Turner while they were staring each other down and stuff in the octagon. And I said, looks a little off. Looks a little off. Looks like he might be in his own head a little bit. And I think it had to do with what happened prior. Listen, these guys are fighters. If you run down on them and try to get spicy on them, they know how to handle themselves, and they're professionals. I'm pretty sure they're not in their head. But, you know, come on, we're all human here. If somebody run up on me, I'm gonna be a little heated. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be a little heated, especially when you got your group here and I'm alone and I'm saying, yo, we could do something right now. It's whatever you want. So anyway, the fight starts. And in my head, I'm like, Bobby Green looks like he's in his own head a little bit. He's mouthing off to Jalin Turner. He doesn't look focused. You know, he kept taunting. The fight starts. He got hit a little bit. Bobby Green ended up getting hit a little bit. He would rub his shoulder. And, you know, he would taunt a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know. I know Bobby fights, you know, exciting and stuff. But to me, something was just off. He wasn't his best self. And I don't even think it had anything to do with physically. I think it was just like that, I don't know, a little mental. Anyway, Bobby was exchanging great shots. He was exchanging great shots with Jalin Turner, but then you could see that Jalin Turner started getting the best of him, and you know, the fight couldn't go the distance. Jalin ended up catching Bobby Green, and Bobby Green ended up doing the chicken dance a little bit. He was out of it. Equilibrium was off. Didn't know where he was at a quick second. He was trying to just gather his composure and get everything back together. He just got hit with something stiff, and he was trying to get himself together. Unfortunately, this is where things go left. Things went left here. Bobby got clipped, right? He starts doing the chicken dance, and then you see what happens after that. Jalin ends up getting him on the back flat. You know, Bobby's back was completely, he was flattened out, man. He was taking hard shots, and the ref wasn't stopping the fight. I understand that the ref may have seen Bobby covering up like this and stuff like that, but it's not, dude, he's taking shots from the back. I understand he thought he may have had an opportunity to come back, but it was no good, man. Bobby took some unnecessary shots. The fight should have been called. it was just hard to see. It was hard to watch. Again, I love action. I love competitiveness. But when a guy is flattened out like that, man, you know, it's time to wrap up the fight and save the fighter from his own self and save the fighter from the other fighter. It was hard to watch. In the end, the fight was good. The first round was fireworks. They were exchanging. There was hard shots exchanged. And it was a good fight. It was short, but it was good. If I have to rate the fight, I'd give the fight a 6.5. I'd give the fight a 6.5. I didn't like that ending. Bobby Green did not deserve to take those shots. He was covering himself. What else are you gonna do? You're gonna cover yourself in those situations. I'd like that ref to be put in that situation. Personally, I'd like him to be put in that situation. I'd like for his back to be flattened out, and I'd like for somebody to be on top of him and don't even really wail on him. I just want him to feel and understand what it's like to be in that position, and then get hit with like 50% shots in the side of your dome, almost to the rear, to the back of your head, and see how you like it. See if you would like somebody to break that up for you. Just 50% shots. Doesn't have to be hard. Just something to teach the ref. I feel like these UFC refs should understand certain things, because we see this every now and again where these refs ain't stopping the fight. And it's no good. These fighters suffer from that. How long is Bobby Green gonna be out because of this? So back to the fight. Jalin Turner, I'm definitely on notice. I do want to see what's next for you, and I'm on notice about Jalin Turner. I want to see what's next. He's an interesting fighter, and after that performance, he even got a bonus after that performance from Dana White. I think it was 50 G's. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing what's next. Bobby Green, I hope he takes some time off after those shots and just really recuperates after those unnecessary needed shots. And I want to see both these guys back and in action. The fight was good. It was a great co-main event. It was short. It was violent. And again, I give this a 6.5. All right, guys. Peace.